It's Story Long from Oak Grove United Methodist Church in Oak Grove, Oregon. I am the youth and family minister there, and I'm so excited that you're joining us for our virtual Sunday school. Today we're doing something very special. You don't need your packet. You shouldn't have gotten one in the mail for this week. But again, if you want to receive those from us every other week, have your parent go to one of the links that we provide below to contact us and let us know, and we will add you to that list. It's totally free, and you receive coloring pages, reflection sheets, activity sheets, all of that. But today you don't need that, because today you're going on an exciting virtual tour. Now, we know sometimes the Bible can feel very far away and distant. Sometimes the stories we read, they don't feel like they're real or they're about real people. So sometimes it's really cool to go and think about that there are actual streets where Jesus might have walked, or rivers where Jesus might have drank from, places where Jesus taught. And one of our friends, Rhonda, actually went to some of those places. And so she's going to take you on a little tour and show you some pictures of some of those places that she's been to. So I'm going to say goodbye now and start that tour with you. And then I'll come back and we can pray together. I hope you guys enjoy this tour.
We recently started studying the Beatitudes, where Jesus taught his disciples, and I have visited the mount that Jesus went up to. So this is where Jesus could have walked. I have hand-drawn the Sea of Galilee showing on this map. This shows the River Jordan in the blue line, Capernaum, the red dot, where the Beatitudes teaching probably took place with the green dot, and where there was found a first century boat is the blue dot. Looking west from the top of the mount, one can see the River Jordan emptying into the Sea of Galilee, or the Lake of Galilee.
Ooh, I see.
This sea is actually freshwater, so it is actually a very big lake. When we were out on the Sea of Galilee, we looked backwards towards the northern shore. This is where Jesus did much of the teaching in the 3 years that he was teaching about God. It is also the eastern side of the lake. Because Jesus' teachings were not accepted in his hometown, he mostly served out of Capernaum. This is the sign that is now at the city of Capernaum. No, they didn't spell it right. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't spell right a lot.
The Gospel of Mark talks about Jesus teaching in the synagogue in Capernaum. This is a remnant of a synagogue. Now, this is not the synagogue that Jesus taught in. This is a synagogue of the 3rd or 4th century. It is made out of limestone.
Limestone?
Jesus lived at the beginning of the 1st century.
I like limes.
Every building that was built had an inscription placed on it by the governing body. In this case, it was Rome. So the inscription is in Latin.
That's why I can't read it. Can you guys read it?
What was the hill or the mount where Jesus took his disciples to teach like?
Ooh, I wonder.
We don't really know exactly where the site was, but the current traditional site is shown here. The grasses are at the bottom, and as we climb higher, we will see that the ground and the plants change. Here we are very close to the top. The plants have now become beautiful flowers. Now, we were there at the beginning of the rainy season. So the plants were turning green and flowers were starting to bloom.
It's always rainy season here.
Some of these plants
So pretty.
were planted by people, but this type of flower and bush was all over the top of that hill. Aren't the flowers pretty?
So pretty. I love that color.
Imagine sitting on this hill and listening to Jesus talk. After the teachings were finished, Jesus and the disciples walked back down the hill. This is my daughter, who walked faster than I did. She stopped to wait for me. I couldn't resist making her wait longer while I took this picture. At the shore, the beach was rocky. Imagine taking off your sandals and walking out to get into a boat. No docks back then. Sand does get blown onto the shore during a storm.
So sandy.
In 1986, a first-century boat was found in the sand. It took many days to extract it from the sand. It is now on display at Kibbutz Ginosar. I was amazed at how small this boat was. The sides are usually about 4 feet high. The stern at the back is about the 4 feet high. It wasn't very wide. The boat is made of 12 different types of wood.
Well, my gosh.
The different types are represented by the different colors. Storms come up very suddenly on the Lake of Galilee. We had to change the boat ride on the Lake of Galilee because a storm was predicted. In Jesus' time, the people would have had no weather forecasters with computers to predict wind speed, wind direction, or rain. This shows the Lake of Galilee calm. As the wind picks up, you get little tiny ripples. And finally, whitecaps. At this point, we were asked to come back to the bus. I didn't get to take a picture at the point where the water was coming up over the grass. This actually can happen as fast as in 5 minutes. No wonder the disciples became afraid when the wind and the waves started coming into the boat. I hope you enjoyed seeing this part of Israel where Jesus walked.
Thank you, Rhonda, for that great tour, and for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want, you can go back through, maybe draw a picture of the boat or the mountain, what it would look like, maybe what you think it looked like when Jesus taught and there were lots of people around him. Maybe Jesus drinking from the river or eating a fish from the river, or just make a list of all the things you think where you think Jesus might have walked and what he might have done while he was there. Because like I said, it's really easy to forget sometimes that the people in the Bible were real and that they lived lives and they stubbed their toes and they got hungry and they got tired and all these things that are so normal to us, but also would have been for them, even though they lived thousands of years ago. And I hope seeing some of the places they might have walked has kind of made that more real for you. And now we're going to pray, and there's some options. You can pray along with me if you would like. You can just listen, pray in your own head, whatever you're comfortable with. Dear God, thank you for sending your son, Jesus, who did walk and stub his toe and get hungry and sleepy, who lived a life with us, who walked dirty streets, who drank from rivers, who caught fish, who taught and preached so that we could know you better. Thank you for loving us so much and giving us the opportunity to understand the story of Jesus in new ways. Amen. Bye, everybody.